Well, first of all, the wildlife of Europe is our wildlife, not just theirs, just as ours is not just ours, but it's theirs as well. Young people today don't think about wildlife as divided by boundaries, by national frontiers. The wildlife of Europe is integral to each other, and just as many of our birds are migrant birds, and therefore what happens to them on their migration matters hugely, so some of the most important sites in Europe are in the new countries. I was one of the ministers most concerned with it. The reason that we were able to do the things which we did was because I could say to the Prime Minister, look, we've signed up to the European Union directives on this, and frankly, when you come to measure it, we've got some of the dirtiest beaches in Europe, and we've got to clean them up. Similarly, we went round saying our water was wonderful, absolutely marvellous. Actually, when we started to test it, we had some of the dirtiest water in Europe. I mean, drinking water. And it's the European Union, because we were part of it, that led us to take those steps. Now, it isn't all one way, of course. We've been extremely helpful, I think, in making the European Union change its attitudes towards trade, to make it much more open and free, to give much more equality to people. We've done an awful lot in that direction. But as far as the environment is concerned, most of what we have has come through European directives, of which, of course, we are part. It's not Europe doing it to us. It's us in Europe arguing this sort of thing out, finding the best thing for Europe as a whole, and recognising that the environment doesn't have boundaries. I mean, with the clean beaches, there'd be no point in us cleaning up our beaches if they were pouring filth in from the other side of the ocean. I mean, they're on the other side of the North Sea. They also cleaned up their beaches. Similarly, half the air pollution we have is blown over from the rest of Europe, and half the air pollution we produce is blown over to them. So there is no way of dealing with air pollution except by the European Union as a whole, because you can only deal with half of it on your own. If you all agree to the same rules, then actually it stops you being unfairly competitive. It enables you to do what is best in the longer term, even though in the short term it does mean spending some money. But after all, I'd much prefer to go to our beaches now than 20 years ago when you could see the sewage. I mean, that's the difference.